We want to shine the light on those who are, very talented.
Shine the light. Shine the light.
Because now we are in the time where you need to build an education, sport education.
We should be able to identify some of these talents and then we groom them.
That was a great one.
Yeah. It's been enjoyable.
This is amazing.
I hope that it would inspire many people.
That's what we try to do with the podcast.
Hello and welcome to In the Game, Qatar's first sports podcast. And as always, you hear me every single week say this. We have an amazing guest on the podcast today, and I'm going to let him introduce himself. So, Mohammed, please welcome to the show and please introduce yourself.
Thank you, Steve, for giving me this opportunity, and I'm really pleased to be a guest at your podcast. I hope that I can provide you with informative and expected show. My name is Mohammed Al Masroori. I am from Oman. I am 30 years old, and I am an athlete doing a triathlon, a sport which consists of three disciplines, starting from the swim, then cycling, and then ending up with the run. I recently dedicated myself to the long distances, the 70.3s, and also just a month ago, I did my last full Ironman. So that's a brief introduction about me.
And you're very modest. I know that you're very modest because I'm going to come out now. You were Oman's triathlete champion in 2020. What was that like? That must have been massive for you.
Well, I don't know if I'm modest or not, but thank you for the compliment. Well, it was 2020, it was really hard year in different aspects. That the global pandemic actually locked people at home. And for almost like 10 months, we were hungry to have races. And we got the chance to do this race, the championship. I remember it was like towards the end of the year. It was 24th of December. And we were really glad to do this race. And prior to that race, it happened that I participated in 3 different races, and they all went miserable. I was DNFs in those races due to technical issues, and 2 of them I had a crash during the race. So I was really devastated. And that race, when I won the race, it was such an amazing and rewarding feeling, because I had like those bad times and those bad races, and I didn't expect myself to win. I conducted the race plan and I did the race that I'm supposed to be doing. And it was really a rewarding feeling. Yeah. So it was really a good thing.
Let's get into that story of yours. Let's go back as far as you want to go back, and when sports began a big part of your life, because it seems like with what you do in all your training, it's taken over right now. But how did it begin in the very early stages?
Okay, that's a good question. Actually, I need to do some flashbacks now. I think back in 2017, I started as a rookie cyclist. I was like, since the early stage of my life, I was playing soccer, and I always like to stand out among my peers. I don't like to be on average. So I was trying to look for clues in order to distinguish myself in many ways. Sometimes I find myself like I need to change my appearance, sometimes like change my training. And many times I changed my position in the soccer field just to find where I fit. So I started as a soccer player. I played for the university team, and then didn't work out. I remember I had an injury back in 2012, and then I started playing volleyball. And again, in 9 months' time, I had injury in my shoulder. and then back again to soccer. So I was like trying to find myself, where exactly I'm positioned in this world, and what sport exactly it fits my expectations and my future. So in 2017, I started as a rookie cyclist. So just like spinning on daily basis, 60 kilometers over the weekends, going for social rides.
Whoa. Let me stop you there, please. So you started your, I'm sorry. So you said that you're a rookie cyclist and you started spinning and you were doing 60 kilometers a day.
No, I mean, like I started gradually on gradual basis, but you know that my approach was really wrong because I was going long distances with no like calculations and proper conditioning. I was just like going for distances, and then my energy level throughout the day was really declining till I reached a point where I'm crashed and like I cannot proceed with the day. So I knew that after some time there is something wrong, and thanks to certain circumstances which actually told me that you're doing the wrong thing, so you need to change your approach. And I actually didn't hope that to start as a cyclist. My approach was like in 2016, 2015, I started to travel, and I really liked the concept to travel on a bike, like a touring bike, carrying my luggage and just spin and cross countries. And I do remember when I went to the bicycle shop and I asked the guy, I need this bike with these specifications because I'm intending to travel and I want to take this bike a lot with me and to be my mean of traveling. And he told me something really funny, and I knew his intention because he wanted to clear his stock and he didn't have that bike because he has to make an order. He told me, why don't you try a road bike? I have really a nice bike here. You have a sense of feeling, and when you start to like it, then go for the touring bike. He's a salesman, you know, and he convinced me, actually. Eventually he convinced me, and I said, fine. Okay, I'm gonna go for a road bike. And he started to give me like certain tips, what to do and like what kilometers to go, what routes. He involved me in a social ride every Friday. So yeah, I started like on a gradual basis. I liked the idea of like just spinning around and waking up early in the morning and create that a nice routine, and to go for cycling every morning and then go to the office. So yeah, I started there, and after like 8 months, throughout the process, I was reading a lot about cycling, about the components, the manufacturers, but I didn't actually look deep into the technicality, and also the science behind this sport. And the schools and also the concepts, and I didn't look at that side. And after like 8 months, I was involved in a severe car crash. I had like almost 6 fractures, and I stopped like for almost 6 months. I was handicapped, like I couldn't move, and I was like trying to recalibrate with my choices and with the surrounding environment and trying to gather myself around. But still, the passion is there, and I found that what really makes the endurance sports something different. It has a meaning to me. It's the process and also the longevity side, and you cannot actually reach the maturity because there is no level in there. And the more you age, the more you deliver, the better performances you deliver, and also you grow when it comes to endurance. So the level is endless, and that's actually what excited me the most. So after like almost 6 months, I bought another bike, and again, I had like a minor crash in 2 weeks. But then, yeah.
I've seen on your Instagram. But by the way, everybody that wants to know Mohammed's Instagram, and it's well worth a visit. I loved every image that you put on there, and the music, and oh dear me. And I stress everybody to go and have a look at his Instagram. It's Mohammed MohamedAlmasroori. Okay, I hope you've got that. Okay, I hope you've got it. Just record, take it back a little bit if I get it wrong, but just take it back a little bit and get it right, because it is well worth going to see his Instagram. Because I know that you've broken parts of your body, which again, your journeys is taking me. I love going on people's journeys, right? I do love going on people's journeys, because at first I was starting to sweat because you were talking about spinning and 60 kilometers. And I've been on spinning bikes, and they are the most uncomfortable. When you haven't been on one of those before, they're the most uncomfortable things first. And then when they start beasting you, when they start kind of pushing you to be doing something active, I think I nearly died twice. I've only done it twice, by the way, and that's enough for me. So you were taking me on the cold sweats, but then you were taking me on this journey about where you go and how you were riding from different places, because it was all about the experience. And now all of a sudden it goes into this sport that you're a champion at. What a story!
Yeah, definitely. Well, actually, the sad part of it is the odds, which are the crashes, the mental breakdowns, and also the physical strains. But the best part of it is the progression and also the journey itself. And throughout this process and throughout these breakdowns, actually, it drives you to the point where you start to reformatting your choices. Are you at the right sport? You incur a lot of doubts. But eventually, when you try to find out some solutions in order to carry on, one of the most important solutions is to hang on hope, and also to have a very supportive environment. That's really, really something that will help you to carry on. So I was fortunate that I had both factors to carry on, and also you are what you seek, and I didn't stop. And the more challenges I have, the better I know deep inside me, the better outcomes are waiting for me in the future. So.
Mohammed, I'm sorry to interact there, because I just want to interact with this one, and I'm sorry to cut you there, but I want to say that right now, the way that I'm feeling, and I keep on saying this, I love going on this journey, and I want to put some running shoes on, or I want to get on a bicycle, or maybe not the swim, but I want to go on those two things with you, because you sound such an enlightening person, somebody that I want to get to know better. And it's like, I feel that just talking to you in a very short space of time, that I'm connecting with you. I want to go and spend more time with you. If it's running or it's bicycling, I just want to do that with you. I want to kind of, and I'm sorry to take the lead in this, but I also want, lots of people say to me, you've just got to go to Oman. You have got to go to Oman because it's something really special. So I want you to talk a little bit, if you can, not about the sports side, but why you do all this for, because it sounds like you want to get to nature. Oman's a perfect place for this, right?
Well, it is actually. The nature helps a lot, and the environment is well diversified. So this diversification helps you not to get to the boredom stage, and also to have multiple choices around the city. So if you want to go for a run, you have many routes. It's not well-structured routes, but you can actually find yourself in the environment and create that sense of feeling where you really enjoy what you have and the available infrastructure. the weather factor is not pleasing, especially during summer across the GCC.
Yeah.
But we are lucky here that we have the southeast where it becomes warm during the summer. Salalah, the monsoon, and also the interior sides where you have the mountains. It's really warm, and during winter, it's heaven. So environment, it's really helps a lot, because when you have the right environment, you will have really good clues at your head what to do. So let's assume that when you go to Europe, to like a Scandinavian country, and then you see people there riding their bikes and the bike routes, you will not have the idea as a tourist to rent a car. So you will find bicycle is the best mean of traveling, because you start to have the clue of, okay, people are giving me signs to start moving, and the environment is asking me to make a move and have a mean of transportation, which is cycling. So here it's the same case. When you are surrounded with like a nice environment that gives you really brighting clues, then you will tend to have a positive attitude, and you will make the right choices. This is actually not something I'm saying it's like 100% applicable here, but it depends on the person, and it depends on how you perceive things. And I find it really awesome being in Oman and being Omani, because, as I say, the diversification of nature helps you a lot to recover, to make the right choices, to conduct your training, and also not to reach the boredom stage.
Yeah, because the scenery looks magnificent.
It is actually. And we are actually at the city, and we have like a chain of mountains. You have the seaside, and some parts we have the sand dunes, and it's such an amazing place. Very authentic.
I was dreaming this morning. I was literally dreaming this morning when I was getting myself ready for the podcast, which I do. I was looking at your Instagram, and again, get to his Instagram. It's beautiful. You want to know what Oman looks like and the kind of scenery, please just go and see it, because it's amazing and very inspirational. And so I'm coming back to your sports now, and I've got the questions in. We've got the answer, I think. Is being a triathlete dangerous? That's the first thing that I was going to say, and you've answered that already. But it sounds dangerous.
Well, as I said, like exposure to risk is really high in everything. Like when you have a car, yes, you have a machine, you have a solid chassis, you have like all mean of safety, but the exposure to risk by others or by the infrastructure, it's there. So the risk factor is there, but the mean of safety is really huge. So I really encourage everyone to wear the right kit, the helmets, and the shoe, the right shoe, and also the right kit, and the front and rear lightnings. The dangerous part is there, as I said, but it's not a factor that will stop you from doing this sport, because it's, as I say, the exposure is there, but you need to be careful, and you need to enjoy and to fit yourself at the right routes and with the group, so the visibility is there. There are two global perceptions about the triathlon sport, that it is risk. I think it's not there, but the first perception is it's for rich people. And it's not actually, but because the technologies keeps on evolving, the bikes industry, blah, 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 the races. So they make it to you as an athlete that it's a very expensive sport, and the gadgets and the equipments there keep on improving, the prices going high. But you can go and do these races in a very, very affordable and also budgeted tactics, and it's not for rich people. And also the second perception that this sport is only fit a certain geographical area and also particular demographics. But it's not actually. It's a very cultural and social sport where when I go to races, international races, I meet thousands of athletes. They're really welcoming. They're happy to be there at the start line, not just to perform, but also to express their backgrounds, to express themselves. And so it's like very cultural sport. And you tend to have the feeling that I'm traveling now throughout these hours of the race, and I'm going to introduce myself and my background to the people here, to the athletes. And also I'm going to pin my country location at the map of the world, the world map. So it's very amazing. It's like it's cultural and social. It keeps on that approach. And yeah.
I'm glad that you brought that up, because I was my next question was going to be, is it a lonely sport? But you've counteracted that one, because you're on your own virtually all the time. You're swimming, you're cycling, and then you're running. And the question was, is it a lonely sport? But you've just said no, it's not. It's quite the opposite.
The process, actually, you need to, as an athlete, you need to adapt to being lonely and to do some training sessions alone. So then you have the feeling of talking to yourself and not to be distracted by any other factor. So mastering this skill, it's actually essential. But also being around a nice community, a nice group, and doing some social rides, it helps you a lot to re-energize and also to reveal some sort of existence in this world. And then on the race day, massive people, like you're talking about thousands at the start line. So it's such an amazing feeling, and also exposure to the environment and concurring really nice feelings when everybody is under the bed sheet and you are conducting you're the only one at the road, and you're the only freak who is doing the training and having like that different lifestyle. And then that's the sense of distinguishing feeling that an athlete have. It's something amazing.
Yeah, I can imagine. And my next thing is, and please don't let me down here, okay? If I said to you, let's do this, okay? Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Yeah. Let's do this, because I'm going back to your Instagram, okay? Because I was doing some research and I'm going back to your Instagram, and this one song is going into my playlist, that's for sure. And then it says, let's do this. And then it says, are you ready to fly?
Yeah.
How big is these things to you when you're going through that, when you're getting up, when everybody's under the duvet, you're getting up, you're going out on your own, you're starting that running process? How important is this music gives you that kind of kick?
Well, just to tell the audience, I had a discussion earlier this podcast with Steve, so we got to know more of. But honestly speaking, this thing that you're talking about now, which is the music, I'm really a big fan of music, and I like to listen to music and to link it with my daily life. This thing now, he just brought it up, and I don't know how he discovered it about me. So I feel like there has to be a synergy and also a synchronization between the person and also the surrounding environment. And you need to have a link. To me, the link is feelings and music is actually lifting feelings. It's a way to progress and to flourish my feelings towards the thing around me. Could be music, could be vocals, could be a word, could be a statement, could be like each person, you need to find yourself and fit yourself in that process. when I say let's do this or that particular song, it's like to have a call to the society. Come on, let's move, all of us. Let's cheer us up and make a move and do some kind of activities. And some song I have many playlists I have created by myself, and each song actually trigger a different feeling, and it is. To me, I played for different situation. So just recently, I did a full Ironman, and prior to the race, like less than 1 hour, I had injury and I was not sure to do this race the night before the race. And I was like, I'm in doubt. Like, I'm going to do these long distances. The race is going to be like up to 10 to 11 hours, and I'm not really sure. So there is like one scenery came to my head when I watched the 8 Miles movie by Eminem. And I remember when he tried to do the rap battle with the group, the first one. So he couldn't make it because he was in doubt. And then he bounced back at the end of the movie and he came up with that legendary song, which is Lose Yourself. So I started to play that song. I took out my phone and I started to listen to that song. So every statement and every like word actually started to hit a different feeling inside me. And I remember like I forgot about everything outside and I melt down. And I was like, yeah, I'm not going to lose myself now. And I have to take this chance and then I'm going to move on. So as I said, like the idea here, you need to find a link. Music, it is something lifting. But we need not to forget about feelings because we have very inherited original feelings that we don't need a third party stimulant to stimulate these feelings in some occasions. So that's something we should not be neglecting throughout the process.
I kind of that particular song, I'm so glad, and life is full of these moments where I found this song. Believe me, we do a lot with hackathons, startups. I love it. I love every second of it. And that one song is going to be with me forever now because I'm going to have it on my phone. And when we're getting that morning going or we're getting something going, I'm going to play that song. I'm going to play it for them and I'm going to play it for myself because I think it's incredible. And I'm with you. I am with you. And are you ready to fly? It's like, yes, I am. And no matter what age you are, no matter what you're going through in your life, just put a set of headphones on and just listen to something because it's going to lift you. It's going to lift you. One thing and everybody's saying, Steve, please come on, talk about the triathlon, talk about because we're talking about these emotional things, but life is emotions. And these things, if we get our emotions under control, if we get our mind under control, and this is anything that we do, we can do anything right. We can put ourselves through anything we want if we get those two things right. So this has been invigorating for me because I really do. I've got this connection. And remember and I'm sorry I'm going off on a tangent now, but this is me, where you said before the COVID, it's like, how do we deal with that stage and how do we get through it? And how do we overcome it? How do we pick ourselves back up over it? And it's just like this conversation that we had now. Who would have thought I could have a connection with you over a Zoom call and a camera? It's like, who would have thought that? True. It's like, I would have told you were crazy. You were crazy, but I feel you. I kind of, as I said to you, I want to go for a run with you. I want to go for a cycle with you because there's so many things on your level. I played volleyball. There's so many things I want to talk about volleyball with you. But we'll go back to the triathlon. Which is your favorite part of the race? Which is it? Is it the swimming, the cycling, the running? What is that one that you're saying, now I've got you? I'm going in the front.
Well, I wish to be a complete triathlete where really good in all the at all the disciplines, and I'm always trying my level best along with my coach is to enhance all the three disciplines and to be equal when it comes to progression. But we need to be fair to ourselves. Some sports, when we start at earlier stage, you tend to have a really good background, and you tend to progress easily. So to me, I think between cycling and running, but running sadly is the last discipline, and when you finish the bike, you start the pain. I mean, the pain is really severe. So so to me, cycling, because cycling, it's I started cycling prior to all these two disciplines, and it's at the middle, and it's kind of, it gives you hope because you finish the first discipline and you start to have the feeling of movement. So cycling, yes, it's one of my favorites. And now I'm kind of moving towards running a bit, which is good. That's a good sign.
You didn't let me down there, Mohammed. You didn't let me down, because when you said, yeah, I look at all of those, I'm trying to rank myself. And I'm thinking, Mohammed, I've misunderstood you. And so I'm so glad that you said you like running, because we got to like one of those. We've got to put that extra 10% in. And I'm so glad that you said it was a cycling. It wouldn't be one. It wouldn't be my first choice, let me tell you. But there again, any of those disciplines that you're doing, I wouldn't be in one of those, because I haven't got a ball to chase. I haven't got something to keep my mind occupied. And that's where and the next question is, how do you deal with your mind through that race? How do you get off that bike? Your legs are aching. They're feeling like jelly. And you're thinking to yourself, I've got so much to run now. How do I get myself into that zone?
That's really a good question, actually. I would reflect my latest experience, the last race. Every race drives you to a different angle of feelings. And the last race was full Ironman. The full Ironman, it's a long race. It's around 3.8 kilometers swim, and then 180 cycling, and then last discipline is 42 kilometers run, which is a full marathon. So I don't know. It's the last race.
Don't. Now you've got me sweating again. It's like now I'm starting to shake.
When you hear the distances, you start to have a cram in your brain. I know. I know the feeling. But as I said, like once you start with the process and you finish the first race, you will tend to have a feeling of adaptation. But back to your question is how to manage the mental side of the game. When I started the swim, I started very enthusiastic, and the first 300 kilometers, I just want to make my way through the participants. And what was it like? I'm trying to make myself really occupying my mind and to make it busy and to sell hope, like a fake hope. I call it a fake hope. So you try to fake a really tasty and nice hope and try to reflect it in your body, because the race is long. So you just try to tell yourself, I'm going for a training day. It's a battle. Yes. I want to compete. Yes. But at the same time, if you stress that feeling, you will break down. You will punk. Eventually you will punk, because you will tend to have really high stress and you might mess up throughout the process. At the same time, if you have like a mixture of tactics and also a mix of feelings, and you try to blend it to have a nice outcome, that's, I think, the best. And I remember when I finished the swim, I'm like encouraging myself, yes, I made the swim. Like 1 hour is like a few minutes. That's really good. I'm done with the first discipline. Flip the page now. And the last like few hundred meters at the swim, I'm trying to remember where is my race bag, trying to simulate, like have a simulation. I'm going through that direction. This is my race number. I will stop. I'll take my wetsuit, and then I'm gonna put the cycling shoes. So you try to keep yourself busy, and you try to have like structured and short goals in order to achieve a bigger goal, which is finishing the race. And then I put on my race cycling shoes, running through the transition yard, and then taking my bike, and I start the bike. The first 3 to 5 kilometers, it's like, to me, I felt like I'm starting now a new race. Cycling, it's time to enjoy, to spin the legs, to shake myself, and also to clear all the dust of the swim back. I need to focus on the nutrition, enjoy the sceneries, and also give it all here. So the mental side of this long distance, the 180, I felt it was like, it has 3 different chapters. I know that I'm capable to do 100 kilometers, but in that zone or in that effort, it's going to be a bit of challenging, like with the condition that I had at the race. But I say this is the resources that I have, and my body today is capable to give me this. So I'm going to work out what I have. After like 120 kilometers or 130 kilometers, you start to have like that feeling of the race is long. I'm still left off with 60 kilometers. So you feel like less encouraged, but you go back to the original feeling, which is hope. Give yourself hope. I came for this mission. I'm gonna do this 180 kilometers. I'm going to crash. I'm imagining myself crossing the finish line with a good feeling. I have a race plan, and also appreciation is really something crucial. It makes a big difference when you start to appreciate yourself and to appreciate the surrounding, the people who supported you, the people who is around you, who gives you the positive feedback, and you appreciate and you try to remember all those times when you sacrificed, when you like put all this effort. So all these components helps you a lot to strengthen up your mindset. And then like I do remember like 100, when I reached 160 kilometers, the feeling automatically started to change. When I saw that sign by the side of the road, I completed 160. Automatically your body reflects, and you make like a random smile, because your body starts to realize, okay, I'm left off with only 20 kilometers out of 180. So I did 90% of the race. And you feel like, okay, and you have a different energy completely. Your body gives you signs. Your body start to give you really good signs. When you reach the transition area, the first thing that came to my mind, I want to have the feeling when I step off the bike, I want to see how my leg feels like. And again, the same process, the same mental the same process that happens all over the bike, it will happen also at the run. And the best 2 kilometers on the run are the 2 kilometers towards the finish line, trust me. And as I said, the mental side, people, they think that to be tough is to be like stubborn against your feeling, but it's not. To be tough is to believe in the process, I believe, and to be disciplined. That's because you are becoming tough towards your desires, and you build up a really, really high level of willpower. So that's toughness. That's the mental toughness to me. It's not like being against the natural feelings. No, it's being against the desires and building up a willpower and discipline.
Mohammed, does this help you get through your normal life? Is this something that gives you? Do you run your life like this with the same kind of philosophies?
I'm trying my level best, actually. We are a human being at the end, and we have different feelings, and we have different. We deal with each and different situation differently with different people. But honestly speaking, sport actually helped me a lot on daily life to manage difficult circumstances and to build up really good and positive mindset. So yes, it has really big impact. And the application, I'm trying to remind myself and amend myself about the process and try to have a really good application throughout my life.
Brilliant. And I can hear all these triathletes all shouting in my brain right now. Ask him about what cycle. I'm calling it bicycle. That's my age. What cycle does he ride? What's the technical terms? What are you kind of using? They're all shouting in my head. Can you answer that, please?
So you mean like a specific brand or what exactly?
Brand, the kind of I know the chassis. I don't know anything about these bike things. But those type of things, the brands and the kind of wheels and the ball bearings. Tell them about your bicycle.
I was riding my brand called Felt for almost 3 years, and just recently I am appointed as ambassador for Specialized in Oman, and I'm having the privilege now to ride Chef. It's a triathlon bike. It's really fast bike, stiff, and it provides you with really nice, good hydration solution. It's at the back here. It's actually participating at the podcast now, and it has really nice color, nice group set. And each brand actually delivers different expectations. And to me, what matters is not just the brand. Actually, brand matters a lot, but also the bike itself, the feeling on the bike, and what the bike can deliver, what solutions. And at the end, the athlete, you can actually play with the solutions on the bike. The bike industry now is, as I say, it's evolving, and the manufacturers to give you like the maximum solutions at the bike, starting with the changing the position, with the hydration system, with the storage, with So the athlete should define the requirements first, and then you do like shortlisting what bike works well with you, and then price, dealer, that's actually comes at last. But to me now, I feel I'm in Specialized, so it's really good thing and good bike to ride.
And I wrote my last note was, which I thought was amazing. Again, talking about your Instagram, but you're indoors. It's like, whoa, what's that all about? The Swift, and it looks amazing. It looks so space age. It's kind of, and you can compete with people all over the world.
Yeah, actually, that's luckily. I mean, we are actually fortunate to have a Swift. But during the lockdowns, when people, and also many professionals and many thousands of athletes across the globe, they couldn't go out. So Zwift is the only solution, and home trainer is the only way to conduct your training indoor. And especially for people who would like to have specific training. So it was really good to have this software and to have indoor environment. So I created my own space. I have a room here that I'm sitting at that has the indoor trainer. It has a treadmill, it has stretching pads and mat, and also I have very small office. And I don't enter this room for sleeping or watching TV or Netflix or no. It is just for being in the zone, conducting something, being specific, having the right environment, and play those nice lightnings and surrounding vibes to just get me into the zone. Because if I mix it up with something like eating or watching movie, then the feeling will be. So it means a lot, this room to me, and it has everything that means a lot to me, like my medals, my race history, my equipment. And so I want to keep it virgin that way.
And a big music system, I hope.
Absolutely. That's a must. That's a must.
It's kind of, and to be quite honest with you, this conversation is one thing I want to ask you. There's so many more questions that I want to ask you about this cycling, but we've come to the end of the podcast right now. But I think we've got most of your best bits. I've got to say, I've had such a wonderful experience talking to you. And I feel that it's so strange that how I all of a sudden, it seems like we've known each other all our lives. I don't know how you feel.
Thanks to COVID, actually, connected people virtually. And thank you, Steve. Actually, like it's been a week, we got to know each other, and it seems like we knew each other since a year. And just for the audience, this is the second communication that we're having now.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And the one question I'm going to say that you can give some advice to people, not just triathletes, because I think I'm going to finish up with explaining. But what would you say to people that are struggling right now with one thing or another? How did sports help you?
Sport helps me in different aspects. Like at the personal level, it helped me to enhance my cardiovascular ability. The physical side, yes, for sure, and the mental side, to have a positive thoughts and to reflect this positive energy to the environment. And I always tried in my normal life to apply this model. I call it the KSA model. It's not King of Saudi Arabia. It's actually knowledge, skills, and attitude. And this triangle, actually, I monetize it on like monthly basis, how I am positioned in this process and where I am throughout this journey. So when it comes to knowledge, I try to enhance my knowledge in all aspects, not just in sport, in different things that will help me to progress throughout the process. And I try to find a link between my knowledge that I have with the hobby, with my career, and with my social life. The skills, it is something mandatory, and some people, they say it's skill, it is something inherited, but no, skill is something that you can build up. So if you're not a good writer, that means you're not writing enough. So I'm trying to see how I am when it comes to skills, like not just in sport, in normal life. And when it comes to attitude is not just the behavior that you carried at the first stages of your life from your parents' house, but also the attitude towards your thoughts and your inner side of your body. So that's, to me, something essential. And thanks to also the environment that I'm having, which is really positive. And I have really positive soldiers working behind the scene, and they like to be hidden, and I like them to be hidden because it's, to me, they're the source of my most of the energy that I have, the nice energy that I have. They're the source of that energy. So yeah, so as a person, as an individual, you need to have hidden soldiers. Yeah, so this is the model that I have. So I really encourage people to have the customized model according to these pillars, and that will help you a lot to have really good choices and to progress either in sport, career, or in social life.
Mohammed, what a way to finish the show. What a way. Thank you so much for coming on and sharing your story with us. It is, and I'm not underestimating it. What a magnificent story. What a way to end the show. Thank you so much for coming on today.
It's my pleasure. Thank you very much, Steve, for giving me this opportunity. And I hope I provided the needed and fruitful, trying to make it a fruitful conversation. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much. And before I go, I'm going to say a few things. One thing I want you to get from this is that you don't have to be a triathlete, but you are a triathlete. Whatever you're going through in life, look at those 3 stages that Mohammed goes through and how it affects him and how he pushes forward and how we're all going through this story. We're all going through it. But don't worry, because those sessions, those areas, whether you're on the bicycle or whether you're on the run, they won't last forever. You just keep pushing through. And when you come to it, you will get through and they will be part of your history. They'll be part of, when you look back on those, you'll look at saying, I can't believe I achieved that. But you can. So listen to that story. I hope you enjoyed that story today because I got so much out of it. We're all a triathlete. We're all got different stages in our lives and you can get through any one of them. Okay. Just keep on persevering and work 3 times as hard as anybody else and you'll get your goals.
Well said, Steve. Well said, Steve. That's really wise. I like the link. Thank you very much. Really, it's amazing. And I think my next post is I'm going to summarize and rephrase this.
I'm telling you, Mohammed, you've given me that. You've given me that today because I tell you, your journey is fantastic. And that's what gave me today. People are struggling. But whether it's in sports or whether it's in personal life, it doesn't matter. Just keep on pushing through. You can do it. You can work harder. It's brilliant. Anyway, get that feeling because it's a magical feeling. Would you say?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Good on you. Thank you so much for listening, everybody. Until next week, bye for now.